This man here?
No,
We don't want that.
You don't need to do this. No, you're protesting.
I'm from King's College, Climate Emergency. This college has been investing in oil and gas for 30 years.
Yeah, I disagree with that as well.
30 years. It's still refusing to divest from fossil fuels after 30 years. We're protesting and we're going to make a change to this policy.
We spray chalked, started spray chalking. So this activist said, oh, I was going to put some of my kiddies' chalk on the wall just as a little wind-up. And this activist person said, no, you want to use like spray chalk, which is like the nuclear option on chalk, so...
King's College. Can I see your identity, please? Well, no, it's not a public area. It's King's College. I'm asking you to leave. It's not a public area. So get out, please.
Within 5 minutes, the vice principal was down. We've completely ignored all our letters. And one of the best bits of my research was when he said, this is terrible, this is terrible. All this is going to do is shut down the conversation. And then, of course, the great line is, well, this is the first time we've actually talked, this conversation now. Boom. So it was done and dusted as far as they were concerned. They ticked a little box in terms of being environmental, and that was it. The demand was that King's College would totally divest from fossil fuels. You go to an institution, they say, that's a great idea, Roger, but we've got our processes. We've made our plan, and that's what we're going to stick to. But what you're not to realise is that's a social construction, right? It's not a law of physics. Once you spray chalked the hall, the social context changed. They went into emergency mode, and surprise, surprise, they had an emergency finance meeting. It is possible. I'd worked out my escalation. I worked out in January I was going to do the front, and then if I could get enough people, we'd go and do the central hall. And then I knew I was going to go on hunger strike. I was scared about it, obviously. But I thought, okay, keep with the plan. So a week later, I just march in and say, if you don't sign a bit of paper saying you're divesting from fossil fuels, then I'm going to go on hunger strike tomorrow. Yeah, I was sitting outside the front of King's every day with my, Old Testament sort of routine. In my hunger strike, day 6, day 7. And these students would be going by and, they'd sort of ignore it for you to say, oh, what, you're still on hunger strike? So after 14 days, phew, he signed a bit of paper, because after about day 11, it gets quite tricky. We'd effectively won. They knew they'd lost, because a group of people had stood up for what was right. There was no way out. There would be a PR disaster for them to resist it. Basically, this is the prototype of how to save the world.